Ah, a straight-to-video 90s thriller starring Shannon Whirry, or however you say it. Is it Whirry? Is it Whirry? Is it Whirry? I don't know what it is.
I pronounce it Whirry. Is that not right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been saying
I've never heard it said by anyone.
You only ever see it on the screen.
Shannon Whirry.
Thanks. This is 1995's Private Obsession. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Emmanuel and she's the main character.
Hi.
She's a world-famous fashion model. Today, she's making a speech at the Women's Press Club about inequality.
Let me tell you a little about men, ladies. They will tell you that there is no sexual harassment in the workplace.
Come again?
Has anyone ever said that?
I don't think so.
Anyway, this is Richard Tate. He has loads of video equipment, and let's just say he's pretty impressed by Emmanuel's speech.
Yes! This is history in the making. I mean, this is tape at its best. This woman could be the president of the United States. I got history right in front of me. Let me see this again. Come on, let's go, man.
He even tries to grab her tit through the TV.
Okay.
Watching on the TV isn't enough for Richard, so he starts stalking her. He goes to Hollywood and hangs around outside her RV. Then he watches her while she poses for photos on this sidewalk in a rubbish hat. That night, Richard re-watches Emmanuel's speech. He's had a few drinks, and he's now decided that he hates it.
You have a lot to learn, Emmanuel, and one Richard Tate is going to teach you, darling.
So he hires a limo and poses as her driver.
Smart.
When she gets in, he starts gassing her.
I smell some gas back here. Can't you get the window down? Hey, mister! Hey, mister! What are you doing? What are you doing?
So now she's passed out, he takes her back to his house and puts her into this annex/prison cell he's built for her.
Don't worry, baby. Everything's going to be just fine.
He has loads of cameras set up in there so he can watch her all the time. He operates these cameras with these buttons, but they're not even separate because whichever one he presses pushes all of them down. Would it really have been that hard to make two buttons on a fake control panel that looked like they worked? Apparently so. Anyway, when Emmanuel wakes up, Richard is talking to her through this TV.
Hello.
What's going on?
Why do you ask?
Why wouldn't she ask? This is shit.
Where the fuck am I and who the fuck are you?
You'll find out, Manny.
She goes around banging on everything, but the reality kicks in that she's not getting out anytime soon. He's making her watch her speech over and over again, and still with the buttons. I suppose at least this one looks like it works somewhat independently.
Not really.
He tells her that there's a lot wrong with her speech and that together they'll fix it. There's a buzzer in her cell that she can press when she needs anything.
I'd like something to eat.
All you have to do is use the word please.
Please.
So he brings her breakfast and pushes it through this cat flap he's made in the door. That night, Emmanuel tries to escape through the cat flap, but she gets stuck.
My neck is caught on something here at the waist. I can't pull back out.
Well, that's no problem.
He agrees to help her out, so he gets the butter from the fridge and rubs it all over her. That way she can slide back into her cell.
Of course.
She's gonna have to wash all the butter off now, so it's shower time, and Richard has cameras in there too.
Come to daddy. That's it. That's better.
Come to daddy? Anyway, the next day Richard goes to see a travel agent played by Rip Taylor. He books a vacation to the Bahamas for him and his wife, who I assume is Emmanuel. Later that night, Richard is reading when Emmanuel presses the buzzer.
What can I do for you?
Please let me go.
Not until you get your act together. Good night, sweetheart.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Then she starts shouting at him, telling him what a lowlife he is, and unplugs the TV. So he comes in and scares her. Then he turns her water supply off. The next day, we find out that this guy, Sam, who's been hired to find her, has hired another private detective who's managed to track down the last person to see her alive, the Japanese woman from the hotel. Back at Richard's house.
I have no water in here!
But Richard is out buying clothes for Emmanuel. This shop he goes into has this woman model the clothes for him, and he gets into this ridiculous argument with the owner.
Why don't you have her try the bra?
We don't model underwear.
Why not?
Company policy.
Who said what company?
This company.
You in charge of this company?
I am.
You set forth the rule?
I did.
what? This is shit. When he gets back home, he passes all the items of clothing he's bought for her through the cat flap one by one. She says she wants the water back on, but he's like, I'll turn it back on when you plug the TV back in. She doesn't want the TV back on, so she decides to just drink toilet water.
Ew.
After doing that, she does plug it back in. And that night, they're enjoying a virtual date. He's made steak and they're both dressed up and communicating via screens. This is what I can imagine some awful couples doing over Zoom in 2020.
Yep.
They're talking about how nice the sauce is, and it's all going well. But then Emmanuel changes the subject.
I wanted to know when I could get out. I mean, when I could be released.
He's like, yeah, that's not happening. Then for some reason, she tells Richard how she used to be a stripper. He puts some music on, and she starts stripping for him. And I'm afraid I can't show much of this.
I don't know if it's the kind of thing you should be looking at.
Although we don't see Richard knocking one out in his camera room, it's certainly implied. Hang on, Richard's decided to let her out of her cell and invites her into the living room. Looks like this was all part of a plan. Oh no, he's bought her some perfume, she puts it on, and then they bang.
What?
After they finish, she asks to use the bathroom, and he's like, yeah, go ahead. It's just past the kitchen. But when she goes upstairs... That's right, she's tricked him and managed to escape from the house. But Richard gets in his car, catches her up, and brings her back to the house. Richard punishes her by turning the water off. Then he removes her bed sheets and takes her clothes off. The next day, we're back with Sam, the private detective. They're interviewing the Japanese woman from the hotel, and this interview hasn't aged well.
Can you describe the limo?
It was wrong.
Wrong. Long.
Yes.
Do you remember the color of the car?
It was a black.
And the driver? Do you remember what he looked like?
He had on a black jacket and a black hat.
Was it a black man?
No, white man.
Now that Richard's taken all of Emmanuel's clothes, I can't show much of what's going on at his house, but it's the same sort of shit. She's like, let me go, and he's like, no, you need to behave yourself, blah, 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 until she tells him that her dad was a Marine. And this, for some reason, makes Richard decide to turn the water on and give her clothes back. Sam is calling limo companies to see if he can find out who hired one on the day Emmanuel went missing, but he's having a hard time getting answers.
Do you have anybody that speaks English? Comprende English? I don't understand you, sir. Where are you from? Korea. Yes. You got anybody else who speaks English at your place?
I'm getting the impression that Sam has an issue with Asian people. Back at Richard's...
I can't take any more of this.
Emmanuel tries another angle.
The night we spent together was the most beautiful night of my life.
Well, he's not going to believe that, is he?
No.
You ran away immediately after it. Oh, sorry, he has believed it.
Oh, come on.
He takes her upstairs to his bedroom and then they bang.
Are you serious? Yes.
This is shit. Sam is with this police detective. Yes, that's Rocky's corner man, but in this, his name's Jim. Sam has called loads of limo companies, but with no luck. But Jim's made just one phone call and already has Richard's name and address. Sam's like, ugh, you people.
And what the hell do you mean by you people?
I call a spade a spade.
Excuse me?
So Sam seems nice. Meanwhile, Richard and Emmanuel are out walking in the woods. Richard's put 2 chairs under an umbrella and arranged a picnic for them.
That doesn't look good.
Emmanuel tells Richard how she's a new woman now and wants to be with him forever.
Yeah. Right.
So he decides to let her move into the main house.
That could backfire.
When they get back home, he goes to get her clothes from her cell, but he's been fooled again, and she locks him in there.
What an idiot.
He's like, please let me out, I got us tickets to the Bahamas. And she's like, no. Sam has turned up at Richard's house and Emmanuel answers the door. She's like, don't worry about me, I just needed a break. So Sam leaves. Now Emmanuel can live at Richard's house and keep him prisoner, just like he did to her. And that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and check out this other video. Thank you.